In my career, I have seen loads of DJs doing this mistake of doing bad equalizing while they perform. To be really frank, it can be a big turn off for the audience, and trust me, it is. In this video, I'll be telling you the professional and a perfect way to do equalizing for the DJs while they're performing, and this would help you. Hi, I am Anish Anand from DJ Training Academy, New Delhi, India, and welcome to our YouTube channel where we do lots of DJ and music production related tech videos to help you guys become a better DJ and a music producer. So if that's your niche, then you are at the right place. Kindly consider subscribing our YouTube channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that in future whenever we upload any video you get the notification first. So let's dive into it. Okay, so before we move towards the DJ decks and I show you the proper way of equalization, that moving those encoders properly, when to cut in and when to bring in frequencies, I wanted to talk about fundamentals on basic on sounds. Like, what is sound? Sound is a vibration that travels between the mediums of solid, liquid, air, gases. And the rate of which sound vibrates is known as frequency and is symbolized in a measure of hertz or kilohertz. Now, to show you practically, I'll be using an Ableton effect called Spectrum Analyzer. It is an audio effect in Ableton Live that is very important for all the music producers, so as to see where their sound can fit in those dynamics, those space of the spectrum. Alright, let's move further and I'll explain you the fundamentals of sound. Let me grab Spectrum. Let me put the Spectrum onto the master, so that you can see those beautiful lines jumping up and down. Many DJs would be confused because obviously they won't be able to relate to it, but I'll be explaining in a very layman language. It's small knowledge. Let me increase the size. Okay, so this is the Spectrum Analyzer. To be really fast, I'll just explain. On the left side vertical, you can see some digits. This is the y-axis and this is the amplitude. Amplitude is the volume, the output of the sound. That's the amplitude. Now on the upper side, as you can see, there are some values written: 100, 1k, 10k. These are the hertz, kilohertz, and that is the measurement of frequency. What we can do is, let us divide this spectrum into three parts: left, middle and right. Alright, the left part is for the low frequencies. It varies from 40 to 120 hertz, so it comprises of all those low and heavy sounds, subs, bass, kick. And if you come to the middle, it carries all the sounds. For example, all the percussions come into these frequencies, vocals come into these frequencies, all the synths, pianos, it comes into these frequencies, the middle part. And on the extreme right part comes with thin sounds, thin frequencies like shimmers, cymbals, hi-hats, etc. So that was the very simple language that I explained what is frequencies about. So the favorite frequencies of all the music producers is 100, as the kick always stands near about 100 hertz, and the second favorite place is 1000 hertz. That's also known as 1 kilohertz. That's the favorite place where the snare stands. Roundabout, this is the place where all the music producers release their snares. So that was a simple idea of a frequency graph to tell you about the equalization. We need to understand this because as we are performing as a DJs, we need to create two things. One is the balance, the amplitude balance, the output balance. When we do the crossovers, when we do the transitions between two tracks, the output should always remains the same throughout the set. For example, if I'm playing one track and if I fade in another track and fade out the first one, and the second track which I just fade in has a less output, it will definitely destroy the floor energy. Alright, so first thing, you need to always maintain that amplitude level of a dance floor, of your tracks, of your set, always. Secondly comes the equalization. Now the equalization is basically what does equalizing means? Equalizing means to balance. So we need to make sure that we are balancing these frequencies. Maybe it's mid, low, high. We need to balance it to maintain the amplitude, the output of our track, of our mixes throughout the set. Did you get it? Okay, so yeah, that was it. So now let's jump onto the DJ decks, and I'll show you practically when to increase or decrease, cut in, cut out the frequencies while mixing, while doing your sets. Let's go. So basic idea behind showing you the spectrum analyzer was to just give you a clear idea where do our lows, mids and highs stands. So now we come to the DJ mixer. As you can see, this is a traditional way of equalizers on the DJ mixer. We have lows, we have mid, we have high, and we have a knob called gain or trim. Gain or trim is a knob where we control our per channel volumes. So the first thing we need to before we fade in our track, before we mix our track in, we need to check out our levels. That is the first important thing while mixing. If for example, I'll just show you on my right deck there is a track I have loaded. It's a mainstream track called Shape of You, and on the second deck on my left I have loaded Con Calma. So I'll be just listen to these tracks. I'll be playing those two tracks. I'll just vividly playing and stopping them just for an idea. Just tell me what is the difference in those two tracks. I'll just forward it a little bit. That was Shape of You. So, did you find any difference? Yes, the difference was the volume, the output of the song. So first we need to balance the output. For example, if I'm playing Shape of You, if the Shape of You track is already playing for the dance floor, then and the second track is playing in my headphones, so I need to balance the second track's volume according to the first track which is already playing on the speakers. So now how do we do that? We need to decrease, we need to cut off the trim, we need to decrease the gain knob according to the first Shape of You. So for example, as you can see the LEDs of Shape of You, we need to balance our second track. That's this one. So we'll cut it down. I'm not playing any song, I'm just showing you the LED part. So that's how we equalize the volume first. This is the first step. Now the second step is obviously mixing. When we mix two songs, already one track is playing on the speakers and second is in our headphones. We need to, just by the ear, we need to have an idea what kind of frequency we are pulling in towards the speakers, into the speakers for the dance floor, and we need to balance both the
frequencies of both the tracks accordingly. We need to maintain that output, we need to maintain that balance, we need to maintain that output. All right, so let me first show you, let me quickly mix this, and then we'll take it forward. Now check it. Can you see the levels? So what did I do? I just simply, this was a very basic transition, this was the very basic crossover. What I did was I simply pulled in my second track slowly and steadily. I brought down my lows little bit of the first track, that Shape of You, and maintained a little bit of mid frequencies so that it doesn't sound very bad. And slowly and steadily, I pulled off my Shape of You track down. That was a very, very basic mix. So there are many styles of equalizing. There are many styles of doing this transition. Sometimes we do it with the filter. Sometimes we do it with the effects. So the basic fundamental behind the equalizing is to maintain the output and maintain the volume. You need to, obviously this is not a quick click process. It would definitely comes with lots and lots of experience. The second thing I wanted to tell you is this switch button that says isolator and EQ. Now what these switch knobs does is, if I switch over to EQ and I'll cut down all the frequencies, there still would be a little bit of sound left. Just check this. Can you hear this? So that's EQ. And as soon as we switch this over to isolator, that totally kills all the frequency in 100% manner. That's the kill switch kind of thing. Just check this out. So there is no sound now. So on the isolator mode, there is no sound. And on the EQ, it gives you a little bit of, it leaves a little bit of frequencies that is very much audible during the mixes. And sometimes, you know, it is very, very good. It depends upon the track you are mixing. It depends upon your style of fade in or fading out. It all depends upon style. What style are you prepping for? And yeah, so that was the isolator and EQ. These are the EQ curves that are present on Pioneer mixers. Also, I would like to talk about, there are a few modes that are coming up in different mixers and controllers with artificial intelligence, which give you a easy hand to isolate your vocals, isolate your drums, isolate your synth, isolate your kick. So what does, in real time, what does it do is, if you want to isolate your vocals, you need only vocals to go up in the speakers. You can do it easily with a click of a button in real time. So there is a software called DJ by Algorithm that does the super thing for you. Then there is a kill switch in I think Virtual DJ that has an artificial intelligence that helps you isolate the vocals or maybe rhythms or synths. And then in record box there are kill switches, if you can try that. Tractor has the same thing. It kills the frequencies within 100%. So yeah, so these are the few tips and tricks I wanted to share with you, and I hope you really liked it. And if you liked the knowledge which I am sharing on our YouTube channel, please subscribe and do click on the notification bell icon so that you get all the notifications whenever we upload any content in the future. So till then, that's all for this video. I'll be seeing in our next video when I upload it. See you. Take care. Bye.
So that was equalizing. Equalizing is really very important. Now you get to know that you were wrong or right. Well, if you were right, go ahead, best of luck. If you're not, then please consider doing it properly while you perform. This will give you an add-on flavor to your mix sets. That's a tip for today. And yes, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Like, what is the style of equalization? Whatever, like add-on points that I am not able to tell you in this video, or maybe I'm forgetting any points, you are most welcome to leave a comment down in this video, and I'll be happy to read it, happy to learn your techniques, and maybe I can discuss that in my next video. Well, that's me, Anish Anand from DJ Training Academy. Bye bye. I'll see you next time in my next video. Take care.